My name is Lynn, with my partner Steve from the UK. We bought a 300-year-old stone farmhouse and olive grove in Abruzzo, Italy, that we call Brambletye. Brambletye is situated just outside a small village overlooking the Adriatic Sea and the Majella National Park. We've taken on the restoration and renovation of Brambletye ourselves to become our future home. We'd love you to come along with us whilst we learn new skills, a new language, live the lifestyle and explore the region with our dog Button.
Well, good morning to Brambletye. As you can see, we've got a lovely sunny day today. I'm not sure the weekend's going to be like that. Forecast rain all weekend. I did say on the last vlog that I was going to start to show you more of Brambletye, and that's what I intend to do today, and also tell you how we're going to start to complete some of those works. I also want to show you some of the works that we completed already prior to creating the YouTube channel. Before I do that, I've got something special to tell you. We are now officially part of Patreon. The Patreon page is live. I'll put the link just below here somewhere. However, the easiest way to get into our Patreon page is go into the description box of the vlog, and there is an active live interactive, if that's not too many words, URL address that you can just click into, and it goes automatically into there. If you want to donate, and that's the best way of helping us at Brambletye. What we're going to do is take the camera onto the next piece of work inside the basement of the house where the donkeys used to live. I'm just going to show you what our next work is going to be. So come this way. Okay, so I'm just taking you in the new entrance to the house. It's fantastic as it really gives us a wider entrance into the property, and obviously we can store some of our pieces of equipment there. There you can see the vaulted ceiling above. The next piece of work, if I swing you around, is it's going to be on this wall, which where the new stones are. So it's this piece of wall here, that whole section up here. And what that is going to do, we're going to clean that up. We're going to point it. Then I'm going to fit some steel on there, drill some holes, put some spigots in, put some steel in there, like the steel mesh you see on the foundations. That's going to go all the way around here. Cement mixer's in the way. So that's going to be the first part of the next work, which will also include the left hand side of the stones as well. So if that's the outside door frame, this stone here, I'm just going to take some, just clean some of this up, actually knock some of it out about 2 inches deep, and then we're going to repoint all of this. And that's going to receive the same spigots. The steel spigots going to be drilled in, anchored in there, and then we're going to put steel mesh all the way from the top to the bottom, and then we will render over the top of that, and that will receive finally the final finishing. Okay, so I'm just taking up this scaffolding. I'm going to be a little bit gentle. We are on the Steadicam. I'm going to actually take you round the property on the left hand side. You see the vegetable gardening in the background, and this is the entrance I did last year. And this is a view. I'm standing on the scaffolding. This is a view of the room. We're going to go in there in a second. So there's the tin roof. So that work's going to be started in 2023. So any donations to that roof are going to be gratefully accepted. There's no labour. All the building labour is going to be me. So we haven't got to any cost there. It's just simply materials. And the price of materials at the moment have gone a little crazy. So that back wall here, that's the wall on the other side, is going to be the bathroom. So this here is going to be one big room. So you see the windows on the left and the windows on the right. Let's go and take a look in there. Okay, so I've just come through the entrance above where the stairs previously led you to. I've come through that entrance, and the camera is focusing on the new entrance we did last year. So that's got the steel above, which you can clearly see. So that was quite a job. That wall is now starting to be created all the way around the top because we had a slanting roof. So we changed that in the project, and now we're going to have straight up to the roof line. You can again see the tin roof. It keeps out 99% of the water, but we're not fully weatherproof. Obviously we've got no windows and doors anyway. So that's the work we did there, and that's all been approved, so that's finished. We did the so what you might be looking at is, why is it steel? That's part of the project. Any large entrances, sorry, that's my telephone, any large entrances need to be steel. The windows, we used architrava, so cement, architrava, and that's got steel running through the middle, so it's a little easier to do. Not quite so much work. You've got a little window above, which is quite a feature, which we kept that, so I'll quickly show you that. If I can show you, yeah, there you go. Don't quite know why they had these little windows. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me. But they're a feature of many of the Abruzzo Italy farmhouses, and we thought we'd keep that one. So that's a view, and that's going over. I don't think you'll see it today. But that view is, I don't know why you won't see it, because I can from here. So I'm going to show you of the Adriatic. You can actually see you can actually see it on the camera. So let's swing you there, and let's come down a bit. And I'm going to zoom you in. There you go. At the moment it's emerald green. You can see the deeper blue and the emerald green colour. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. There you go. I think that gives you a better option there. So let's come away from that. That's the view from the bedroom window. So all of the consolidation is done around these windows. Just getting you back into some, hopefully some good light. Hopefully the camera will correct itself in a second. So these are fill-in walls. That's how they do it here. That's how I was told to do it. And that's got steel going from there to there. And obviously we infill all the inside. That gives us quite a nice windowsill ledge. All these stones of the framework here, these are in Majella stone. So they all came out, and I positioned them. Got them relatively square, and also I chemicaled them in with steel bar into the actual main sides of the wall, so that lot's going nowhere. That's one of the windows. I've got to be careful how I move around here because we've got rubble on the ground here, but that's all going to go into the wall. There's the main entrance, which I just told you I came through. This is beautiful. This is the one with the keystone. You might have seen it on one of the first vlogs. We showed you the keystone, which is up here. That's original. It's staying original. We're not changing that. Nevertheless, we had to do all the work on the arch all the way around. Everything came out, and obviously a lot of reparation, a lot of repair to these stone walls coming up here. So if I spin you round, there was a fireplace there which won't stay. It's funny because it still has, if you look here, the original pot hanger. It's made of steel with a great big hook on the end, so we'll have to find something to do with that. But that's part of the original. That's how it actually hung from a piece out the wall. Now, what we need to do is to fill this lot in, because it's a weak point of the building, and the project wants all that filled in completely from top to bottom. So anyway, I'm getting on with that. We've started at the base. You can see some black on the walls. That will just be as a result of the fire. Obviously they were cooking food there, and that would have been a wood fire, and that is the soot on the wall. If we swing you round, this is the wall that we did some experimenting on. We needed to experiment to show the architect the condition of the wall, so all this was cleaned up, and we've done some pointing and rendering, replaced some stones. There was actually a hole here, and that's been now covered up prior to the YouTube channel. All this has to be motor picked and rendered, or pointed I should say. Some strengthening on up there. All this here, all these, you can see these veins of render. They have got steel inside, so the steel is pushed inside the wall, it's chemicaled in, and then it's rendered over the top for pointing purposes. This is the back wall, and you can see there was a fire of some description here. Obviously it was on purpose, because there is a line left and right, and obviously there was some sort of flue coming out here. We've never seen that. We didn't know what it was, but I do know there was a small cooking facility around the base of this, which is all filled in now. Not particularly pretty to look at, so there's no way we were going to keep that. So all that's done. So you can see the architrave's done for the windows onto the back of the property, which you should get. Well, you will get the view, but you won't be able to see it because the sun is directly facing the camera. So these are the architravas that have gone in. They've gone in nicely, and we're just going to keep those windows these size at the moment. We've got enough light in the room with the new opening. And the way we're doing this room, we're not enclosing, we're not having any walls. This is all going to be one room. Just taking you on a 360 here, just to show you. It's about 12 metres long, about 6 metres wide, so it's a nice big room. And what we'll end up doing, if I can just get to the final point, where that doorway is, that goes into the bathroom. But up there, where the architrave is, there'll be a doorway above this, a doorway here. And that is going to lead into a room above the bathroom ceiling. So that's going to give a closet for Lynn, hopefully, when we eventually start that work. But above here, the interesting part is we can have a mezzanine, because we're double height, ceiling height here, all the way up there. We don't want to put a fixed level in there, so a covered level enclosed. We're just going to put a mezzanine, half mezzanine. So the mezzanine would come out to about here, and you still have nearly full head height above there. So that will be a neat place for storage, wardrobes, and it would obviously keep this room from getting too cluttered. So that'd be quite nice. But all the internal walls have still got to be done. So that's one of my jobs after we finish securing the floor. You can see the pianella tiles on the floor. Sorry, it's a real mess. It is what it is though. There you go, there's a good. So those are pianella tiles. So we've got a few thousand of those to pull up. Whether we put them back down or not, we don't know. But tell us what you think. They are original, they are authentic, they're handmade terracotta, and they're about €1 a piece, or €1.50 at the moment, as the prices have gone up. So let's take you a little bit further into I've got a bit of scaffolding we're going to go into, but we can walk around the side of that. That was just to enable me to be able to get up to the higher level, because there's one window up there. There you go. And it's all been architraved. So we're up to 147 architraves at the moment. Those are the lintels, the concrete lintels. So it's between 5 and 7 pieces on every window. So they're not going anywhere, but it brings in some nice light into this room, which is going to be the bathroom. We were going to have a small corridor here, because that's where the stairs rise, in the corner over here from downstairs. But I think we're going to keep this open so we can let all this light gush into the bathroom space. And this is the bathroom space up here. There's the roof line. As we come down, there's a chimney there, which we can make as a cable access and a waste pipe access, which is lovely to have. We've got the window that goes onto the Adriatic there. You can see some stones already piled up waiting to do this wall here. And again, we've got the pianella floor tiles, which you can clearly see there. I've opened up the entrance for the staircase coming up, and we're going to make that in concrete. So that comes up there and is going to finish rising here. So you walk up the stairs, boom, 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 onto here, and then we turn left, if that makes sense. This is, don't know what. It had a lintel up there, but it obviously just rotted and fell away. But I think all that's going to get filled in, and whether we can make a slight feature of something there, that might be quite nice. This is the existing ceiling. Look at this. This is it. This is what you stand on. Which is a little bit scary. I did say that, so that's the existing ceiling here. So I did say in one of the last videos that these floors can stay, but they can't be supporting floors. Get a different view of the room here, if we can. Okay, that's quite nice. That's the full width. It's not particularly a big house, it's got a big back wall to it. And that back wall has got a lot of work to do. It has already been done on the outside and finished. And now we've got to do all the inside work. Not too bad, but it's a lot of work, that's all. And then obviously we've got to do these floors. So this, under here we've got the vaulted ceilings, which you saw downstairs. So, right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take you up to the roof level and show you the condition of the roof. So that's the outside of that little window I showed you inside, if that makes any sense. Well, we'll show you something here, which is interesting. And that is something that a lot of the Abruzzo Italy houses have. That was all smashed, dismantled, half of it was on the ground. So I found all the pieces and put it all back together, and that's what we've got at the moment. And at the back of that, we will just plaster and render inside, and maybe a piece of glass on the front that we can get in via a little door. And that's what's called a Madonna housing. So a Madonna would have sat on that base, and the priest would have blessed the house when that went in. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll probably reinstall maybe a little Madonna or something, I don't know. Somebody wants to give us some ideas about that, that would be great. Yeah, so it's nice, it's pretty, I like it. And it's an original feature of the house. It wasn't an afterthought, but all that plaster, I've rounded everything off, remade parts of it. Like I said, it was all smashed and laying on the floor. It's lovely, very pretty. Let's go up one more level. So we have got a sunny day, so we are going to be in full sun. So I'm just going to keep the camera on, and here we go. So this is the Intrepid tin roof. This tin roof has got to go, so we want next year to have a new roof on this house, or at least start the work next year. And that's something that people could donate towards if they wanted to help and become part of the journey here. Something that we've got a GoFundMe page for, and if you wanted to become a patron you could donate that way. So we're going to be putting the old terracotta handmade tiles, which are called copy tiles. We have one on the roof at the moment, so I've got to excuse the sound, but it's the scaffolding walking boards. Right, so I've come to a part where we've got some copy tiles on the roof. There's a good example there. There's a good example, you can see. That's how they're handmade terracotta. Probably more than 80, 100 years old. That's the underside of them. And what they do is they lay one underneath like that, and then this one sits something like that, and then another one would obviously go that side. So there you go, you can start to see how they make the roof here. They're about 8 kilos, up to 8 kilos in weight, so they're quite heavy. Like I said, they're all handmade, so no two are the same. And if you want to donate to the tiles, that would be fantastic. They cost about €5 each, but we're insistent on using the vintage authentic tiles for this house. I think it deserves it. If we come up slightly, you'll see that the tin roof covers the whole of the roof of the house. Just walk around the scaffolding. Okay, so the work here, the first part of the work is to get this, although we've got the outside of the wall motor picked and consolidated, this part here, it's the work that goes on here. So we've got to put what's called a steel corder, which is a seismic ring, going from the edge all the way up, and carry that all the way up there, goes all the way along the back of the wall, comes down the other side, and it comes along the face of this wall where the tin ends. there, so the roof will in fact be slightly higher. That seismic is 300 mil square, a quarter they call it here, the quarter, 300 mil square, which is using 16 millimeter steel rebar, so that's steel rod that's used for reinforcing concrete. So that's a big job, and that has got to be connected as one. Everything's got to be connected together to give the strength on top of the house. We're just going to the back of the house. Okay, so we'll see some of the olive trees in the background. So that's where we did the picking for our olives. Beautiful, stunning, beautiful old trees. 50, 60 years old now. They are brilliant. They were planted by the father of the owner who we bought this house from. So this is the back of the house. Unfortunate electrical cable fixed to the back of the house. Can't do much about that at the moment, but we may well apply in the future to have that removed. But it does get expensive, so we have to be careful there. That little window we showed you, which is going to be in the bathroom, it's all finished now. That's how it was, and all I've done is remove all the stones, put them all back in, tied them all together with steel, and pointed them in lime mortar, so that it's come up quite nice. This is the line all the way down, if I can get it properly for you. Yep, so that's the line. So we've got to do all of the roof capping. All this has still got to be done yet, all along the top. So that's quite a job, but let's say the structure is sturdy. All we've got to do is put the roof on now. We'll get the seismic on, and then a seismic corder, and then put the roof on. So just a little more of the views. It's autumn. What I do want to show you in the distance is the mountains. They are stunning. See if we can get a little bit of a close-up. See all the olive trees. That village there is Brambletye, so that's a UNESCO site. So it's on the top left hand of the screen at the moment, so let's move it. So that's a village. Few people live there now because you can't get any cars up there, it's all walking, which is really nice. They have a beautiful fiesta there in the summer. Okay, one thing I did want to show you was the doors. These are the doors that we picked up from the antique rigatari, strangely enough. They were just sitting there staring me in the face. They're beautiful. They're about 2.4 metres tall at the moment, so they're a little bit tall. But what we are going to do is, I've been talking to a few people, is to reverse engineer them. That means taking them apart, because they'll all be put together with wooden pins going through here. You've just got to find the wooden pins. That's all. Knock them through, and you can see they're mortise and tenon together, here and here. There's a little bit of woodworm just on the bottom plate of the door, so all that's going to come off. We'll treat, and we need to make these doors slightly wider and slightly shorter. But we paid €5 each for them from the Antico Rigatari. I've got 8 doors, so 4 pairs, 4 matching pairs. And obviously what they do is this lip here, they sit inside one another when they close, so stopping the air from coming through. Obviously there's no seals, there's no locks on these or anything. So obviously we'd have to make up the frames to receive the doors, and obviously what's called re-engineer the doors completely. Anyway, that's the story of the doors. And if you've got any comments about these, the wood is pine. You would call it Victorian pine. That's how old the wood would be. It's beautiful. It's very straight, and we can put it through a surface planer or through a planer thicknesser just to take off all the rubbish, and then we can start to think about how we're going to engineer those together. So probably a drawing is going to be needed. Double glaze them so we can put a slightly larger rebate in the actual windows, where the actual windows are in here. We can put another router rebate in there so we can get in a nice 20mm piece of double glazed, decent piece of glass unit. And we'll see how they come on, but that's going to be a vlog in itself, or several probably. So we've got four pairs of these, and they're all matching, and they would have come off a building similar to this, and probably somewhere in the region of 70 to 80 years ago, maybe even older, maybe 100 years ago. So it probably would have come off a house possibly more than 100 years old now, and we're going to see if we can make them live again. Okay, one of the things I did want to mention before we start getting to show you the other parts of the building is we're working here alone. We don't have anybody else helping us, so that means we have to get on with multitasking, lots of other jobs. We used a lot of the good weather in the summer to start pushing that soil behind me above and around the olive trees, so in a sense muck spreading, and that's starting to get rid of some of the soil that's behind me. We'll show you some of that on the video. I think I've got some. We also had to prune the olive trees. Lynn did a lot of that. I did a lot of the taller stuff and a lot of the bigger stuff with the chainsaw, and we had also to chop that up for firewood for the winter, so we've got plenty of that now. So that's all being stored in the house, so that's going to be nice and dry. That's quite important. We do get the cold spells here, and it's nice to have an open fire. Also, we've been doing some of the servicing on the machinery so it lasts through the winter nicely. So there's not just one job here, there's lots of jobs to do. So if you've liked what you've seen today, if you can subscribe, tick the like box, ding the bell, share it with friends. If you want to become a Patreon, that'd be lovely. We'd be so grateful for having Patreons on board as well. Any support that we can get to put this historic building back to where it's supposed to be and lived in and part of the Italian community. Otherwise, for sure, 100% this building would have definitely fallen down and be gone forever. So look forward to the next vlog. We'll be starting the steelworks inside the ground floor. Okay, see you next time.